Alright everybody, I have a very good video for you today. I'm excited to show you everything we're going to cover today. Just for some context, if you didn't see my last video, this series I'm continuing is me building a 100 grand agency a month from ground zero. So this is the ground zero stage. This is literally the first week that we've launched. If you don't know me, I personally scaled my residential real estate agency to 40 grand a month. I've also worked with dozens other agency owners who scaled to multi-six figures, still actively working with them. So this whole series is updating you nearly twice a week of every single thing I'm doing. I'm going to show you everything that I have done in the last 5 days. So it's Monday. I released my YouTube video announcing everything on Wednesday. That's literally when we started building this thing out. This is what I've done. We're going to be covering, number one, the ad scripts I've written. Number two, the recordings I've done for those ad creatives that we are launching literally today or tomorrow. As soon as my editor is done editing them, we are launching these. I'll be showing you the spreadsheet that we use to write, script, produce, iterate, and approve on all of the ads that we're currently running. I'll show you ads managers, how to see which campaigns are doing the best, which offers are doing the best, how to word offers, how to message everything, and lastly, my pre-call video that I've recorded yesterday. Okay, so what you'll see on screen right now is literally the copy and paste spreadsheet that my company has been using for 6 to 8 months to write, script, iterate on all of our ads. Okay, so you'll see at the top here, just to quickly walk you through it, then we'll get to the actual ads that I've written and recorded. We have a legend. This is actually so my video editor can come in and actually see the spreadsheet. As you can see, he's already pasted some footage. As we look though, I'm going to show you why we do it this way. As you see, we have 10 hooks to start off, and then we also have one body of the ad that we test. So what does that mean? This is 10 variations, 10 creatives right away, and then we're also launching 10 more photo ads by tomorrow, okay? This is why we do 10 hooks in a body, because we want to separate and track everything we're doing on how these are actually performing, okay? So if you've seen my service delivery, I did like a 35-minute or something like that video, go on my YouTube here, 33 minutes right there. Check that out if you haven't already after this video, but this is exactly what we are doing. If you see down here, this is actually my ad creative testing philosophy right here. Like, this is what we actually do. We have 70% of tests that are micro tests. What I call those are, hey, look, we launched 5 ads. 2 of them are performing significantly better than the other 3. This is what's going to happen most often when we're dealing with ad creatives, is that 2, maybe even 1 of them are going to dramatically exceed the others by a big margin in terms of their performance, okay? Then, for testing philosophy, 20% of everything, all the ad creatives, are going to be a same angle, different worded hooks. What that means is, let's say, the core offer of everything, or the core messaging of our ad that we're using that has been proven to win over time continually. What we're going to do is use that same messaging principle. Let's use an example of our ads right here. We'll click into this random one, which basically, okay, this is the one that's drilling into the pain point of using all of these pay-per-lead websites, these shared lead companies that you can go on. For real estate, it's Zillow. For them, it's Angie's List, maybe Home Advisor. We go on these websites, none of them worked. All of these people use these websites, or at least a good amount of them, so they'll resonate with this messaging. So let's say this is a winner. What we're going to do for 20% moving forward is do a differently worded hook. And then again, coming back to the 70%, we're going to make very small iterations. And what I mean by that is walking instead of standing. So maybe I'm doing a Miro board, instead I'll do a whiteboard. Just a very small change. Everything else is identical. Okay, then what we're going to do is change the color of a shirt. Maybe I'm wearing blue right now. I'll put on white or something, or black. So that's what we're getting at by 70, and then 20% just differently worded. 10% is completely random, different ideas. Period. That's it. Okay. You can see the difference between these 2 hooks right here is actually only the color of the Miro that I'm showing in the ad. That's how damn simple I actually made. I brought this up. We'll pull up my ads manager. I'm actually going to pull up my ads manager for you. What we see here is with my previously recorded ads and previously ran ads, you can see literally cost per result on a black Miro board. This ad, June 23rd, A1, H9, B1. We just code these. What it did is it got a third of the cost per lead of this other ad, which is a white Miro. What does that mean? We changed one color on the ad and we cut our cost per lead in a third. The other one is triple this one by one color. You see what I'm getting at? This is why we do things this way. So that's what we've done. You can see that these tests right here are literally just changing the color of the Miro board within our ad. And then what did we do for these 4 variations is we had our video editor, in-house video editor, actually just edit in the Miro board. So what I mean by that is we have this diagram Miro for these 4 ads, I'm share screening. For these 4 ads, he is editing in simply the same diagram, but it's not on a Miro. He's just editing it, like actually as a visual animation. Okay, so you get what I mean. A majority of our tests are going to be the same thing. Then what we did for 9 and 10, I'm talking about doing something completely different, is, if we pull this up, it's just a core offer hook. That's all it is. So if we look at this, attention kitchen and bathroom remodelers, edit on screen. Give me 45 seconds. I'll explain exactly how you can get 5 to 20 financially qualified dream job for your remodeling business in 90 days on a complete pay on results basis. Okay, so now we're doing these tests, which are done and are being edited, of 2 core offer hooks. Very, very, very simple. Okay. Then let's go to our body. What's the philosophy behind our body? We open this up. What we have here is reiterating the issues that they have with everything they're doing right now. Okay. And then we go to, it doesn't have to be this way anymore. So basically what we do is say, hey, look, I understand what you're doing and I understand the issues you're having. And we're iterating the pain points and making them in their head go, this company really understands me and what I'm struggling with. Okay. So what we do is hook them in with either one of the hooks that we're running, as I just showed you. We iterate the pain points again, reiterate them right here. We reiterate the pain points again right here. And then we propose a solution, which is exactly this right here. And again, what we're not doing in the ad, ever nearly, is going. What I do is run a photo ad that submits into a lead form. And then they go to a landing page. And then they schedule something. And the person shows up. And I'm not even exaggerating. Some people do this. And it actually blows my mind a little bit. And this is why majority of you aren't making money. It's because you don't know how to message your offers properly. Nobody cares about the damn system. What we actually do, the only thing we do here, right, with at all saying what our system is, our unique solution, is a name. We've created what we call the neighborhood dominant system, makes you the exclusive contractor for high value homeowners in your specific zip code. That's the only thing we're saying relating to what we actually do. Okay. The more vague you can be here is nearly the better. Okay. Like, and I don't want to state that as set in stone, but most of the time we're selling the ends and not the means. Nobody cares about what the heck your system is as long as it makes them money. That's all they care about. I'll actually talk about that talking point in a little bit as well, because that's also super crucial. But let's get back to the ad. So we also say, while your competitors are fighting over scraps and Home Advisor, when a $50,000 kitchen project comes in, it goes to you automatically, not them. So then we reiterate the pain points in a world of you losing money, work with one remodeler per area, bring them 100% exclusive high ticket dream products. Our system is very simple. If you don't make money, we don't make money, period. Cool. So that's the ad. I also say here, not leads, not estimates, such as price shopping, only ad revenue. Since you're seeing this ad right now, it means your still slides open. Okay, boom. Then the rest of it is basically stressing that we work with one person per area, which is true. We do the area exclusivity policy. We want to sign one contractor per area, scale the hell out of their ad spend, work on a performance basis if they do also want to raise that ad spend above what the minimum is for us. And then from there, we CTA. Okay, what am I doing here that I want to stress to you? Let's open a new doc. I've created a blank doc because I want to actually show you how to work this out. When any of you are writing VSLs or ads, even for these clients, like, hey, look, even for a kitchen, as an example, we can say, this is the sales process. Let's break down the sales process first. We have leads, qualified leads. Then we have appointment. And again, this is also something like estimates. It could be home evaluation in real estate, because basically what specific niches do is take an appointment and just call it something else. So if you're in the industry and you're niche down, you want to basically call it whatever your clients that you're reaching out to or running ads to are calling it. So we have an appointment. Then we have a job. Okay, what we have here are the typical sales process within any local business nearly. So if we look, let's say our promise here is, just let's take the worst example and see if we can like twist it into something that sounds good, because I want to prove my point. Let's say we promise 100 qualified leads in 90 days. That's the promise. Okay, so that's not even a good offer at all. Like, anybody and their mom can actually make that offer. It's like one of the most beginner offers ever. But this is how you twist it into being something very attractive on ads. And obviously the incentives on both parties for an agency and let's say a contractor, but this is nearly any other niche. They want us to promise something here, like jobs. That's what they want us to promise. What we want to do is go nearly as far back as here, because the more farther back we go when we're promising something, the less risk it is for us when we're doing any kind of service, because we're getting paid for what we bring. If we go promising jobs, what we're doing is relying on the client's close rate. What we're doing is taking a lot of risk for them to actually sell the person. So notice how the incentives are completely reversed when you're looking at the agency versus the client. So what we do is we want to meet them in the middle somewhere. Maybe we'll promise them qualified leads, or we'll promise them actual estimates. And then from there, we always want to message whatever the most attractive thing is from the actual offer we have. So let's go back to the 100 qualified lead in 90 days. Let's say 1 out of 3 qualified leads turn into an appointment, okay? Just as a random example. So we then have appointment equals 33. And again, this is off the top of my head. This is just a random example here. Appointments, 33. So we have 100 qualified leads. That turns to 33 appointments. Then the appointments turn into, let's say, 15 estimates. So half of the appointments actually turn into estimates. And then we have a 50% close rate on estimates. Okay, so this is the whole sales process being broken down into a step-by-step logical path. Then we have 7 to 8 jobs from this system coming from the metrics on average. So we take the average metrics for someone in this niche. Okay, so the actual average close rate, the average conversion rate from a lead to an appointment, then the average conversion rate from an appointment to a job, whatever. We take that and then we go, our promise is this, but on average, this is the actual result from it. We're not selling this. Screw you if you want to sell this. This is not going to work for you, man. This is not going to work at all for your business. What we want to do is go all the way down to jobs. So you can see in our body of the ad, what we're doing is saying dream jobs, even though our promise isn't actually dream jobs. But I'm saying here, we want to take the average conversion rates. If we bring them 50 appointments, 50 estimates, if we bring them 100 leads, what does that actually mean? Into jobs in their business, on average from this industry. Then what you're going to do is take this. I'll actually highlight the screen just so you know what we do. And then we're going to use this in ads, use this in bodies, use this in VSLs. And yes, you can briefly mention your offer when needed. Okay. So what I'm not saying is you just lie to them and deceive them into saying this is actually your offer now. We're saying what the actual outcome of everything we're doing is. So I just wanted to walk you through that and show you how I think about writing ads in general. And let's go to our pre-call for a second. But the main point here is you see right here on slide 61. So this is literally one of the last slides in the whole VSL. We state the actual offer, which is if we don't put at least 20 financially qualified consultations on your calendar within 90 days, you pay us nothing. So if we go back to our sheet we made, our promise is actually here. If we look at this, we promise them actual consultations / appointments. But if we look through the VSL, what we do immediately is say we can add this amount of cash in kitchen and bathroom remodeling jobs in the next 90 days. But that's not the actual promise. But what we're doing is we can even go one step further. Just on this point, I just remembered, turn the jobs number into actual cash average. Okay. So let's say our system, and we did all the math here, provides us 7 to 8 jobs in that specific niche. What is those jobs in a cash number in revenue for that business? Okay. So the further you go down to finding what am I going to make them in their actual bank account in the next 90 days after working with me, regardless of my messaging, regardless of my promises on promising appointments, promising estimates, even leads, okay? Regardless of all of that, what is that in actual jobs, what they care about, turning into cash for their business? So this is something I really want to stress to you, because what I find is people doing this exact opposite thing. People send me their VSLs for feedback all the time. I think I've reviewed dozens at this point of actual pre-call videos for people's businesses. And they open the pre-call in the first 10 slides, not mentioning anything to do with appointments or anything to do with jobs. They say, work with me and you're going to get so many leads you don't know what to do with, and even qualified leads. And I listen to it and I go, this is not attractive. This sucks. And I write this to them. I'm like, hey, dude, why is this contractor, why is this roofer, why is this residential real estate agent working with you? It's not for leads, dude. They don't care about a phone number on a spreadsheet. Let's open up an actual Miro real quick because I want to show you how this plays out. I like visualizing things. If we look at the system on a, let's say, high level overview, then we have means. Okay, so means to get to the ends. So what this means is we have this, and then we have means, and then we have ends. What is means? System. Okay, so this is, we can say, add to lead form, and then we have to a funnel, and then we have to nurturing for follow-ups, and then we get scheduled. Okay. We don't care about this, dude. We don't care about this at all, and we don't even want to pitch this often. If you do, you can pitch it for 10 seconds just to show to them you know what you're doing and to seem like an authority. So if you don't talk about your system at all, and this is the crucial caveat to this, they're going to be like, hey, dude, I've just asked you 3 times on what you actually do, and you haven't told me. And I don't like that. I want to know, where am I spending money? What is the system? And in that case, we don't want that happening, obviously. So if they do ask about any of these things specifically, you can briefly tell them and then resort it back to the actual ends of what your business brings. Let's go to the actual ends now, what I'm meaning by this. This is the part we just mentioned. So we have lead to qualified lead, then to appointment, and then we have deal/job. Okay. These are the ends, and this, if you say any of this, it's better than the system. It's better than the actual means, okay? It's way better than doing that. But it's not good enough, okay? So we need to always make our messaging off of this. All of this is nearly nonsense if you're watching this. If you're doing this right now, you can drastically improve the quality of your VSLs, your ads, everything. If you're not doing this right here, what I just outlined. We are not selling the means. We are barely selling the ends. We're selling the final end. We can even call this final end. I've just come up with this, but it sounds good. So we're not selling means, we're not selling ends, we're selling final end. And then the intention, if we're looking at why is this contractor partnering with an agency, what they want is they want to outsource. Let's actually practically break this down. They want to outsource info because they have right now ignorance. They don't want to deal with the time spent in learning a system, paying for education relating to the system, and the hassle, okay? They don't want to do any of this. So when you pitch them and say, I'm going to do this for you, it's going to result in this amount of money, their other option is to go through paying down the ignorance. So they can do time, they can pay with money, they can pay with hassle, all the stuff they actually hate doing. So what they're doing is outsourcing info on us knowing how to spend $1,000 of their cash each month and turn it into $10K. This is the basis of an agency. So ask yourself right now, what directly correlates to this number right here? What correlates to it fundamentally? Simply put, input, output. Like not setting up nurture automations. What do they actually do? Okay, nurture automations, if I'm selling nurture automations, I'm going to say, okay, John, you have a 33% show up rate right now, and you're making 33 grand a month. Is that about correct? Yeah, that's about correct. Okay, so if that 33% turned into 66%, we just doubled it. What would be the cash you're making now from that? 66K. So that's how we sell nurturing automations. We don't go, our nurturing system is going to improve your show up rate. No, nurturing system is going to improve show up rate. You don't have to mention this. And then it's going to turn into this much in cash. Okay? Because they don't know this shit. They don't care about that shit, man. They don't care about your nurturing systems. They just want the cash from it. As long as you stress the end of the end to this, like we've talked about here with the final end, that's what they actually care about. Okay. Rant aside, this is what I have done in the last 5 days. This is the whole structure for advertising. I've just briefly showed you the pre-call. I'm launching this momentarily, and hopefully my next video, I can go, what am I doing and improving off of these ads? What are the salesmen doing right now? How are they doing in terms of the appointments we're booking them from the ads? How's the service delivery going once we sign the first few clients? I'm excited to show you guys that. But I hope you like this raw style of video. My editor is absolutely in the trenches with all these ad creatives, so I'm just recording this raw. So let me know if you like the style. Let me know if you don't like this style. Love your feedback on what I'm doing here with this series of documenting everything. Thank you guys so much, and hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later.